Pure monopoly is when a single firm is the sole producer of a product for which there are no close substitutes. It is also a price maker, which means that the monopolist sets its own price, unlike in perfect comp where it's a price taker. In addition to that, the entry is blocked, which means that no competitors can enter due to certain barriers. Lastly, there is non-price competition, which means that monopolists may have either standardized or differentiated products. Standardized products engage in public relations advertising, while differentiated products advertise their product's attributes. Like I said earlier, there are factors that prohibit firms from entering known as barriers to entry. The first here is economies of scale. It is difficult for firms to break into the market when large, expensive technologies are needed. Legal barriers include patents and licenses. Patents are exclusive rights to use a certain invention. The government may also limit entry to an industry by licensing certain producers into a geographic area. The third is ownership or control of essential resources. A firm that owns an essential resource can prohibit the entry of rival firms. The last barrier is pricing and other strategic barriers to entry. If another company tries to enter the market, the monopolist can respond by slashing prices, increasing advertising, or taking other strategic actions. Now where were we? Yeah. Let's take a look at the graphy.
The demand curve for a monopoly is also the market demand curve. Since the market demand curve is not perfectly elastic, the monopoly's demand curve is downsloping. The marginal revenue curve is below the demand curve. The demand curve is elastic as long as marginal revenue is positive. Therefore, a decline in price will increase total revenue until it reaches its maximum when MR is 0. When the demand becomes inelastic and MR is negative, a monopoly will not set their price there. They will only set their price in the elastic region of the graph. As you can see, there is no supply curve in a pure monopoly. In order to maximize total profit, a monopolist will produce where marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost. In a monopoly, economic profit is found between the demand curve and the ATC curve. If ATC curve was above demand, economic loss would be found in the same way.
There are several misconceptions in regards to how monopolies operate. Monopolies do not charge the highest price because it will not yield the maximum profit. Monopolies do not seek maximum profit per unit, just total maximum profit. Monopolies do not guarantee a profit and will still operate at MR equals MC to minimize losses in the short run as long as it's above the average variable cost. And lastly, monopolies are neither productive nor allocative efficient. Overall, a monopoly results in an underallocation of resources and it produces less output and charges a higher price than a competitive industry. Its costs also may be larger or smaller than a competitive industry's cost due to inefficiency, economies of scale, rent-seeking expenditures, and technological advances. The final topic is price discrimination. So far, we've assumed that all goods are sold at a single price. However, price discrimination allows the producer to sell at many different prices based on the demand of consumers. There's a need for monopoly power, market segregation, and no reselling of products. Result is more profit and higher output. Also note that the marginal revenue is the same as the demand curve.